Chat, here we go. We have a bunch of show matches today, starting with Vatira versus Mawkzy. A lot of best of sevens that are sponsored for the most part by Vakinus, W Vakinus. But this first one's going to be me, a $250 match between Vatira and Mawkzy. If you're tuning in on the VOD, or maybe you're watching the YouTube videos as they come up, we have Atto Joria's coming up. We got Nash Drally. We've got Zen versus Nupo to finish out the day. All going to be best of sevens, $250 on the line, and all of it's going to whoever wins the match. Now, the reason why we have such a stacked lineup is not just because Vakinus is a homie for dropping a prize pool, but also because RLCS 1v1s in EU is starting up on Friday. Everybody who is playing today, with the exception of Nupo, of course, who's going to be playing for Mina, has signed up for 1v1 RLCS, and it should be the most hype ones tournament of all time. I don't understand how it could not be, especially with the implications of the major for whoever ends up being the winner. And I bet you there's nobody who wants it more than the guy playing on the orange team right now. Mawkzy has been waiting for this moment, a chance to play RLCS with his best skill set, and it is finally here. It would seem fitting if Mawkzy would be able to do it, take down the title and show up as the ones representative, get to show a bunch of people a new player they have never seen before, but it is not going to be easy. It is going to be the most locked in that any of his normal 3v3 RLCS opponents are going to be for his mode. And Vatira is showing that right now with an air dribble to get a 2-0 lead. Now, Mawkzy secured rank 1. The rankings locked in as of last night. Mawkzy was making sure he was rank 1. He was 1800. We had 2 players in the 1800s in ones. I'm not sure we've ever had that before. Zen was actually number 2. Him and Mawkzy were tied at 1808 points, as Moxie's going to tap this one in for his first goal. Although I think MMR is not an integer. It's not a whole number. So Mawkzy was slightly ahead. He must have had decimal places of leads against Zen to get rank 1 and seed 1 for the RLCS. But if there was anybody to bet on to have seed 1, it definitely would have been Mawkzy. We know Mawkzy is down to put in the grind when he needs to. Doesn't necessarily mean he's the favorite going into the tournament. I think the favorite going into the tournament has to be Nas, considering his salt mine matches over the past couple years. It seems like when it gets down to it, tournament time, Nas is just built different. We'll see if anybody else can snag it from them. I wonder, I'm sure there's a few people who would have Mawkzy at around number 2. It's actually kind of hard to think about the EU tournaments a little bit without the Mina guys in. Because if it were a regular salt mine tournament, I'm sure people would have like Rawas or Nupo as maybe the next favorites. But it is going to be only the Europeans in this 1v1 tournament. As Vatira dribbling this one over the top of Mawkzy. And now trying to cat and catch for a tight angle. Mawkzy just missed. I want to see this from Mawkzy POV. There wasn't that much movement or that much surprising movement from Vatira as he was touching this to the back wall. Yeah, I think it's just a bit of a mistake from Mawkzy getting a little bit ahead of himself, because he definitely shouldn't have been able to get some part of the ball there. But prioritizing a clean landing and maybe a chip shot gets absolutely nothing. And now going to have to rotate back. My understanding is both Vatira and Mawkzy are live right now, by the way, if you want to watch their POVs. I love it when, you know, players stream more. I think it's just good for the stream community, like the Rocket League as an esport in general, having more pros be available, allowing people to basically become fans easier. I can't get the exact phrasing, you know what I mean, of a certain player. There's a reason why apparently Jack has so many fans, Reddles has so many fans, all these guys who get into content creation. I think they probably latch on, you know, a little bit to their favorite players and stick around longer. So love to see these guys streaming. Mawkzy, of course, is always streaming. Vatira has been streaming a bit more. Is Vatira using face cam and or mic, or is he no mic, no cam, which is very popular way to stream? I think Mawkzy sometimes turns off his cam. Yes, both. He's got face cam. He uses both, a face cam and mic today. Listen, that's great. That's even better. But I still say players should play, you know, if they have to do no mic, no cam, so be it. Mawkzy, of course, always with mic and cam, although to be fair, during big tournaments, he will turn those off to lock in. Not sure if he considers this show match to that level. Yogi Beats, saving the 6 months of Prime. Vatira going to steal this one away to tie this game up 4-4. It was Vatira who was controlling the game for the first few minutes before Mawkzy brought it back. Delay kickoff from Vatira. You'll see Vatira and Atto use that a bunch. 2 KC teammates love themselves their delay kickoffs. Their threes team is, you know, been one of the pioneers when it comes to kickoff strats. Everybody has bought in now and is a believer of needing to mix up the kickoff. But these guys had some of the more creative ones when people were first willing to branch out. As Vatira is actually going to do another special kickoff here. No jump at all. And loses the kickoff into his back corner intentionally. And now an air dribble bump will put him up 6-4. People talk about the bot kickoff where 2 players go to the ball. Would it be considered the bot kickoff in ones when you just no jump and you just drive straight into the ball? Obviously, not a good plan to win the kickoff into the other half, but potentially a safe plan. Your wheels stay glued to the ground. You're ready to recover as quick as possible. And if you can control the loss of the kickoff into your back corner, then you might end up having 100 in possession and essentially get a full win. So players have been dabbling, risking it. On occasion, it can look extra silly if performed incorrectly because you might just get the ball sent straight into your nets. Vatira up 3 now. Mawkzy got the lead at 4-3 since then. 4 straight for Vatira. As he taps this one around Mawkzy. Mawkzy has just been a bit hesitant. Defensively, it would seem like. I felt like it was a uncharacteristic miss from Mawkzy earlier. Now he just can't seem to position in a spot that allows him to make a real challenge on the ball. Vatira not going to go to kickoff at all. Just great mix-ups all around, but, you know, they don't always work. This is essentially what Vatira is trying to avoid with a lead late in the game. He doesn't want quick goals, so he thought, I'll just fake this kickoff. It'll probably result in more midfield play, but instead it just resulted in a quickly scored 5th goal for Mawkzy. Another intentional loss. You see no jump by Vatira on the kickoff. This is not, you know, a mistake where his X button is slipping. He is intentionally having Mawkzy win that over the top of him and into his back corner with him more prepared to handle the end results. And now he's going to cut it on the goal line to slow it down. It seems like game number 1 going to go to Vatira. I don't know if Mawkzy is going to forfeit or if he'll try and grind it out. I mean, certainly in an RLCS 1v1 context, this is doable. You just need a few straight kickoff wins. But I got to admit, with Vatira's variety, it's hard to imagine a world in which he gives all of these up. Because even here, that took too long. I don't know if he can afford to take that much time. There are players, certainly a lot more back in the day, that would just run the same kickoff head first at the ball 4 times in a row and get scored on 4 times in a row. But that doesn't seem to be the game that Vatira's playing. Vatira chipping this one out of the corner. Mawkzy no choice now but to be ultra aggressive to try and imagine a world in which he's able to bring this back. Look at this little dash. This is a pretty nice shot. I mean, 2 seconds left to go. It's not going to matter. But Mawkzy on Vatira's back wall used up all his boost to get back to this one to get the right catch. But then he just chains dashes together. I mean, Vatira probably shouldn't have missed it. I'm not sure why he missed on the back wall, but maybe he got faked out by Mawkzy. Samas, thank you for the tier 1 for 2 months. It's not much, but I don't want any ads. Oh, no worries, man. Any subscription puts you in like the top 0.1%, I'm sure, of supporters. So you never have to say it's not much. Plus, you do get to avoid those ads. Mawkzy is just going to drop it to the ground. Game number 1 goes to Vatira in this best of 7 for $250. S9 Sanju. Thank you for the 16 months of Prime, saying W stream. W supporter. Mawkzy, known for his flick game in his 1v1s. This flick's going to be weak and easily covered by Vatira, who is now really, I think, just trying to get a boost steal out of this situation. Didn't get it, but will get a goal. And this is the back and forth that is played in 1v1. Mawkzy knew that Vatira's main goal there was to take the 100, try and pin him back, which actually, considering how much boost Mawkzy had, it's a little bit surprising that he dove so far for it. Considering you can play on 60, you can let Vatira take that 100 and you have, you know, I mean, you don't have 100, but you have an essential 100 when it comes down to making any play you need to defensively to escape. But instead, Mawkzy found it more important to try and take Vatira's. And the reason why I bring it up is because Vatira also had even more than that. So Vatira was just going to, you know, starve Mawkzy out. Both of them had the boost needed. So I think, in retrospect, the right play would have just been focus on the ball position and the possession from Mawkzy. Instead, he'll have to play from behind. Vatira just faking up to the ball as a way to get Mawkzy not to challenge. He did exactly that. Got a clean catch. And it's just quicker to this one than Mawkzy's expecting. Mawkzy survives the demo chase, gets the boost, but oh, he actually does survive. Just barely. The ball headed to his nets, and now Vatira getting the opposite 100 gives him boost advantage. A fairly low-scoring start to both of these games. It got going a little bit later in game number 1, but it definitely started out slow. And this is the slow one for sure here as well, as Mawkzy prioritizing popping it over Vatira, ends up putting too much on it. Gets crossbar and out, as he's now trying to keep Vatira pinned back, and there's a mistake. Oh, but actually not a strong enough touch from Mawkzy. Vatira's going to find a way back, and great patience from him. Mawkzy was not far away, and yet Vatira knew to not freak out, knew he could really collect the ball and wait it out to take it away. So often defenders in that situation feel they need to make a flip, make a touch, especially considering Mawkzy did throw even a slight little fake, but Vatira has always been a chilly defender. He's going to grab the boost and half flip to steal this one away. It looked like from Moxie's POV, Vatira was going to go pick up the 100. And he was, but what he didn't know is that he wasn't turning away. He was just setting up a half flip to take the ball. And it's a 2-0 lead halfway into the game. Vatira passing to himself off the back wall after Mawkzy chased him down on the kickoff. Mawkzy still trying to figure out what he's going to do about this no-jump kickoff, which I think is what was ran here again by Vatira. No-jump kickoff lets Mawkzy dunk it over the top of him into his back corner, then beats him in the race to the boost. Mawkzy changed up how he had been playing it, decided to try and chase Vatira down into that corner, and that did not work because Vatira taps it around him. 3-0, holding Mawkzy scoreless. Not an easy thing to do for a guy who definitely knows his 1v1. Rotating back here high on the back wall to prevent Vatira from trying to dodge his demo that way. Vatira through the air, has this ball, perfect center field, and dunks Mawkzy. He gets a ton of separation off the wall, which does not allow Mawkzy to challenge on the wall. You can actually see for a moment there, Mawkzy thinking about going up sidewall, looking to bring defensive pressure to Vatira, but recognize I'm not going to be able to get off the wall and make real contact. So forced to turn back in shadow. Vatira's going to beat him on a dunk. And might get another one here. Mawkzy, great save from Mawkzy. Not to overshoot it. You even saw the back wall dash that gave him an extra speed. He knew he needed to pull off of that and not go flying past the net. But the problem is getting a spectacular save is not enough. Ball Kim on, dribble from Vatira, half flip flick. A really unique play from Vatira. The end result is a shot, though, that Mawkzy is pretty easily able to handle. Wow, a set of doubles keeps the ball around the net, and Vatira will score off this as well. Vatira, just a fortunate angle off that top corner. There's no way that's necessarily how he's planning to win the 50, but he does keep the ball around. And it's a 5-0 run for Vatira. Mawkzy gets his boost stolen, tries to send it away. 6-0 with a minute 13 left to go. I'm thinking we're going to see Mawkzy lock in. Okay, there. I wasn't sure. He does say next. I could see it go either way. One thing that... Did I pause the game? Okay, I did. One thing that I know about Mawkzy is that he's really interested in getting some more reps in. You know, he wants to play some of these top guys. They don't play as often as he does. So I thought maybe there's a chance he sticks it out just to get more reps, you know, in a tough situation. But he's going to go next. Game number 3. Vatira and Mawkzy. Mawkzy does so well on the stream that has become a joke, and I must stress this is a joke, that we're essentially doing money laundering with Mawkzy, with how often the prize pools seem to go to him. But clearly, he's got himself a tough hill to climb right now, as he's going to start this best of 7 down 2. Good news for him is after going completely scoreless in game 2, dropping a forfeit, he's instantly going to be back on the board here, up 2-0. Mawkzy winning this race to the kickoff, or winning this race to the follow-up off the kickoff. Just going to boom the ball. Vatira has the read. Mawkzy, I'm sure, trying to squeeze it in underneath the crossbar, and might have succeeded if he had gotten it there, but even just a little bit of bounce meant Vatira was in the right spot to clear it away. Mawkzy on low boost right now. This ball's taking so long to get to the ground that he's for sure going to get starved out, but he has no choice but to stick with it. Nice dunk. Chases around Vatira. Vatira has even a little bit more boost after this. He can use it, and he can force Mawkzy to take a wider range, but you see Mawkzy stayed out ahead of him all the way up until his tank of boost was gone, and then cut back in when it was clear he was going to be able to safely get to the ball. And he puts on his third goal. He is going to take this one to his own nets. Does manage to clear it right before dying. Now Vatira off the ceiling. Has the ball again. Perfectly positioned to double. Is missed. Allows Mawkzy to live another day here on this possession. Mawkzy, he just teed Vatira up. That doesn't seem like the best decision from him. Reset shot. Wave dash. Yeah, I mean, Mawkzy certainly is going to have to want this one back. I mean, that is just such a better position than where the ball was. The ball just chilling pretty low to the ground near the side wall is very non-threatening. But Mawkzy teed him up with the dream setup off the side wall. Fortunately, he's going to get himself a kickoff. I wonder what the YouTube commenters prefer. The random hate comments they'd have to read every once in a while whenever we'd have show matches, or 1,000 pictures of a cat in a bag. The 9 to 5-a-thon has really changed the vibe in the chat. Why not both? Mawkzy is just going to completely turn this one around. He was not controlling any kickoff. Seemed to struggle to find any offense. Now all of a sudden, he's the winner here. Vatira on 0 boost. Sticking with that play, hoping to get some sort of touch. Never was able to. Ooh, Mawkzy is just stealing Vatira's kickoff. There's the no-jump kickoff. I mean, it's not really Vatira's. Lots of players have used it before, but so far only Vatira had used it in this match. Mawkzy goes soaring past the ball on this one. This is the kind of pre-jump that, if it works, you probably psych out your opponent big time. Nothing seems to be going their way. And now you're getting super pre-jumped to steal the ball. So Mawkzy trying to lock in the mental edge maybe with the ultra aggression, but it didn't really work out considering he just went flying past it. Mawkzy, nice read of the demo. Knew exactly how Vatira was going to try and dodge it. Jumps up to demo him. And make it 7-2. Delay kickoff from Mawkzy. Then the power shots to push Vatira into net. He's taking a little bit too long here to pick up this possession. Nice pre-flip, but he's going to die for it. He was so clearly trying to throw Vatira off defensively. He ended up taking it all the way back to the only boost that wasn't available for him. And it had not spawned in time. Vatira, nice double. Not giving up on this game. I mean, he knows he could score 8, in 3 minutes or whatever. So just because he's down big doesn't mean he's out of it. And he's got himself 4 goals he needs to make up in the next 2 minutes and 16. Delay from Vatira. I think it might have been a slight delay or at least a read by Mawkzy as he slowed down. Yeah, mistake there from Vatira. It does get pre-flipped by the Mach. Heavy delay from Vatira. Mawkzy gonna eliminate him here. Was he? I think he might have turned ball cam off there for a second or done some camera movement to try and see if he could find out where Vatira is spawning. Vatira gets the post save, which sends the ball away. Now he's just kind of looking back and forth for boost. He couldn't get it at the midfield. He's realized the back corner wasn't going to spawn for him. Ended up just chilling there, and now he will go next. Mawkzy's going to be on the board. I'll let everybody watch this flick again, though, because this is a Mawkzy classic. He is bound to get a couple goals from that flick. And this time he gets a game. Game number 4. Vatira and Mawkzy. Mawkzy got greedy and Vatira stuck around. He almost got rewarded immediately with a goal. He thought for sure Vatira was going to get back. Zap dash recovery from Vatira, not going to be enough. Still going to be a first goal from Mawkzy. Vatira gonna equalize as these two guys mirror wave dash kickoffs. Vatira's dash actually a lot later, but it does work. Did I stop talking for like 2 seconds and you said Utopia? It's a long best of 7, okay? There's gonna be some brief seconds in which I might not be saying something. You don't have to immediately type Utopia. Vatira did not hit his pinch, but he baited in Mawkzy with it. Because he didn't hit it, he actually pushed it out just enough that Mawkzy thought, oh, I can steal this one away. I can backflip and take this. That ended up being the perfect bait. Mawkzy. Oh my goodness, did Vatira score this? It didn't seem like this 50 should have been good enough, but it comes off with blue trail as Vatira gets the reset and then, yeah, doubles it in on accident. He was pretty close to not touching that, but... Is there a timeout in RLCS 1v1s? That's actually a great question. I'm going to say yes. I'm going to go ahead and guess yes. From what I understand, they're completely using the 3v3 format, including what might be the most grueling day of Rocket League for a few people. Best of 5 Swiss. Best of 5 Swiss in 1v1s is going to be... There's going to be someone who goes game 5 every round all the way into round 5. And that is going to be a sweat fest. So my guess is in best of 7s, they are going to get timeouts. Will they be getting coached? I mean, that's a different question. Probably not. I don't know. Maybe in the later rounds, when like one player from KC or something, you know, has made it to a certain level. Maybe Farah is on the line with them, helping out. I don't know. Do I expect Mawkzy to have a coach? You know, probably not, just because he doesn't already have like a default coach. Nas said on stream he's going to get Snasky. That makes sense. Yeah, I think basically RLCS players, I imagine, will use their coach once they get deep enough. The problem is Nas may be playing, or I guess it's a little bit less of a worry with Nas, but Vatira, Drowley, and Atto, they're going to play some games against each other. So, you know, I can't imagine that Farah is planning on jumping between calls back and forth and being like, yo, Vatira, here's the thing. I just told Atto to go delay kickoff, so what you're going to do is you're going to chip over the delay, instantly score. It's going to be a free goal. Smooth catch from Vatira. As he now lobs one. He's put so much air underneath the ball. It's given him ample time to recover and make plays. We've seen a few different times now Mawkzy just kind of stuck underneath the ball, waiting for it to come down, wishing he could start to pull it away, bring it to a safe space, get his possession going. But Vatira just airing it out, giving himself the time to pick up boost or get back into play, whatever he needs to do. Now, to get himself a 5th goal as Mawkzy trying to collect the ball off the back wall. That is one of the toughest positions to get a possession going. It seems like it should be yours, but transitioning from the wall to the ground results in the ball getting taken away often, which is why someone's going to make fun of me. There's always someone in chat who says, oh, Feer's talking about Diaz again. But it's just true, okay? Diaz has found a very unique and not easy to replicate way to escape the back wall and turn it into a good possession, going the length of the field. And if you could do that consistently, it's really beneficial to be able to pull away the rare times that you have to defend the ball down to the ground. Mawkzy down 2 with 1:30 left to go. Double jump bump. Does connect with Vatira. And within 1. Have you already picked out your son's gamer tag? Is that how you think it works? Type 1 in chat if your parents picked out your gamer tag. So Sniper Gaming, your parents said, hey man, you're going to be Sniper Gaming whenever you play video games. Footlong Dong 420. I mean, I'm just sorry for you, Footlong Dong 420. That's a bummer. That's clearly not one that you would have picked yourself. Ooh, Vatira, he is playing the possession game. He will still take this aerial, but you can tell not rushing to the other side. Out of the back corner, the dunk is in. Bit of a risk too from Vatira. When you have a lead late in a time like this, you almost never want to finish your air dribble shooting the ball downward from above the ball. What that means is if Mawkzy gets a save and is able to keep the ball low, the counterattack is just a free goal. But in this case, Mawkzy taps it up and into Vatira, and he gets his dunk in his 3rd. So it pays off for him, but still definitely a risk. Vatira now to the ceiling. Has to jump back off of it because the ball was not set up nearly high enough. Needs to get back down to cover it, and another dunk. Mawkzy has been tentative defensively, and I'm sure that's for good reason. You know, Vatira has been able to play around him whenever he has tried to dive, but he needs to find a way to stick closer to the play. Vatira is just too good. And I mentioned it before, you know, who knows if I'm just seeing patterns I want to see, but Mawkzy does play a lot against much lower level competition than these guys do. I feel like these other top players pretty much only play in these big games. Mawkzy might get used to being able to play slow, take his time, and get wins in lower ranked games. It's not going to work here against these other top players. He's going to have to bring the game to them a lot more than he does against his other opponents. Will they be allowed to go next in RLCS? That is a good question. You know, I think that they should be allowed to go next, but if I had to guess, they just won't. They won't do that. Maybe someone will ask. You know, maybe one of the early, like, 1 versus 9 rounds is going to be pretty abysmal and pretty obviously won with a lot of time left on the clock. Maybe someone will ask out if they can. But yeah, I think there's no forfeiting in RLCS 3s, so my guess is they haven't really wanted to add it. It's not the end of the world if so. I still think allowing forfeits is probably best. But if you do have 2 commentators, you know, doing the match and it's a live game, they could just waffle. It's not, you know, completely unheard of for waffling to be necessary on the main broadcast. So towards the last of the few minutes that a game is clearly over, they can just theorize. Mawkzy launching this flick. Not the normal way he does. He does 50 this around. Vatira has the boost steal. He's trying to undercut him or demo him. Does get an undercut and a 100 take. Has Vatira very, very low. And he's just going to go simple. He's done all the hard work. Now, just don't overdo it. Don't overthink it. Just double jump. You know Vatira is not going to get up to take it away. He can't with how little boost he has. And it's funny, if you talk to Mawkzy, obviously people will joke on occasion, air dribble bumps, those kind of plays are cringe. Mawkzy be the first to tell you, it is not easy to bump these guys. It's not easy to outplay Vatira enough to starve him completely of boost to make it easy to double jump bump him. And he would more than welcome you to try and do that to Vatira yourself if you think it's cringe. Vatira is going to grab a demo on his own back line before launching a hook shot. He's got Mawkzy in net now, and that's not the best of first touches. Mawkzy really needs to take advantage of it, but you see how passive he's playing right now? He just let Vatira turn this into a goal. I think he almost needs to have less respect for Vatira. I don't know how else to put it, but he's allowing Vatira to set up a good play. There's tons of moments during that possession in which he didn't really have full control. He was having to, improvise to do his best to cover the ball, and then eventually he did have full control, and he was going to put on a strong shot, and then that's when Mawkzy's trying to react defensively, which it just seems like that's going to be a losing battle if you try and do that all the time against Vatira. Vatira wins this 50, should have the shot. It's wide, and the high bounce actually means he can't follow it up easily. Mawkzy into the nets, has more than enough boost to escape here. Did let the ball fall to the ground, so now Vatira's like, wait a second, maybe I'll stick around. If you're not going to have a carry, I'm not going to let you close the distance between the net that easily. And Mawkzy is going to be forced to reset here. Back wall dribble. Vatira is already up there, hanging out there to discourage him from taking a full field, but he's not able to challenge in time. Nice read from Mawkzy. And he will tap it over the top of the half flip. Vatira, fake kickoff. Hasn't had the same kind of success that some of his other kickoff mix-ups have. And this one, oh my goodness, Vatira, it's the second time he's done a perfect pinpoint save on the post, but this one is going to be immediately followed up anyways. I think what's so special about that too is because in the process of pinching it away, he's also making sure to roll his car and dash, essentially dash landing on the side wall to be able to recover and still make a play. But it's not foolproof. It's still going to be tough to save a follow-up, as Mawkzy showed. Vatira, great flick here to get speed on this ball out ahead of Mawkzy. Half flip, gets the ball just high enough that his side flip gets it over the top of Mawkzy and out ahead. Here is, oh, never mind. Here is the most genius kickoff I've ever seen. I was about to say, here is the downside of when you don't do the no jump kickoff correctly and you allow the other person to win it straight ahead and then follow it up for an easy tap-in goal. Only Mawkzy did not tap in goal. He did a tap-in pass, sent it off the backboard, and now has very little boost because the kickoff just happened. He used all his boost to make that play, so it's for sure a goal for Vatira, and now a follow-up for Vatira. Mawkzy should have been starting to put the game away with a huge mistake from Vatira. Now instead he's playing from behind. Mawkzy picks up 100. Vatira does not have anything to work with now, and Mawkzy had pretty solid patience here as he's going to continue to try and pop the ball at the top. He's tied it up. Great recognition. Obviously, it's very easy for us to see that Vatira is completely starved out, but Mawkzy knows it as well and knows how to punish it. This kickoff into the orange half, not the best of bounces, is going to force Mawkzy to make a save. Vatira was maybe trying to drop it down underneath him, and the process just missed. Vatira going to double this into his own corner. Mawkzy just barely gets there in time to steal the boost. 53 seconds. Big next goal for whoever may hold the lead as the clock winds down. Mawkzy going back to his flick. Vatira prepared, shadowed far away to not let him get over the top of him. Mawkzy making sure to stick with the ball as he works it into the corner to steal the boost. He wants the 100, but he wants possession as well. Now he's gotten that, but Vatira able to reset himself. Back in the same spot we were in before. This time Mawkzy using some camera to go around and check. Vatira had done a good job of saving his flick, so he goes to air dribble this time. Vatira able to collect the ball and land it down. Can he get his 100 boost as well? No, he missed the touch, but now both of them are on 0. Vatira pre-flips out. Can he get back to it? Oh, Mawkzy feels backflip. Vatira will slow it down and very likely win the game. I want to see from Vatira's POV. Oh, I'm not sure what it mattered. I think Vatira was out and ahead enough that even if Mawkzy had flipped towards the play, I think Vatira might have still had the lead, but definitely off of the feels backflip, it's not going to work. Mawkzy actually has a kickoff he can maybe work with. Can he get this up? He does. Vatira is out of the midfield. Flick from Mawkzy. It's in. 0 seconds from Mawkzy. As he prioritizes possession, Vatira was creeping out past boost, past the ball. He thought he just needed to get one more touch. Instead, he allows Mawkzy a chance to tie it up, and we got OT. A must-win for Mawkzy in order to keep the series going. He is on triple match point right now. He'd have to win 3 straight. Mawkzy needs a demo. He's not going to get it. Vatira takes it away. Does not allow the double jump play. And it's GG's. Vatira going to win 4-1. Reacted early enough and got the touch on the ball before Mawkzy could get around it. Vatira going to be a force to be reckoned with in RLCS 1s, it would seem. He'll win the $250.